And next up at the elimination station, we have the LA Kings, as they've been officially eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs by them Oil Dogs, grease on them and all, in 5 games. And the Kings started Game 5 well, but then once the Oilers got comfortable about halfway through the first, it just seemed like it was more their game to lose. Evander Kane opens the scoring. You love to see it, but the Kings scored another fluky one. I don't know how many they got this series. It would have been a catastrophe for other Oilers teams, but I feel like this is either luck or an extremely bad omen. Anyway, the Kings would actually score the next one to take a lead in the second, but the Oilers then did what they do best. They leaned on McDiesel, who set up 2 more goals, bringing them back up on top 3-2, and bringing himself up to 11 helpers for the series. He did grab the 1 goal earlier in the series, but it's almost felt like he's gone on a mission, purely set his teammates up, not score for himself. McDavid's a sweet boy. You know what they say, an assist makes 2 people happy. And it doesn't seem like an Oilers game these days without Hyman scoring, so he grabs the game winner at the end of the second, set up by the Nuge to make it 4-2. The Kings would get one back late. Some last-minute heroics, however, secured the game for the Oilers. And a lot of people have been talking about Draisaitl's skate at the end and the penalty that sealed it for the Kings. But I gotta say, it wasn't him who put the hero shift in. It was Derek Ryan, who had no stick for like the last minute, but was still trying to do everything he could. And he gets the hit along the boards and takes on 2 Kings, breaking up the puck so Draisaitl can go for that skate. And just like that, the Oilers are on to round 2 after a pretty comfortable series. Watching the game, the thing that I noticed most, no shocker, their power play, it is incredible. It's like video game levels. Technically, they did only go 1 for 5. However, Draisaitl scored his second of the night as the power play was expiring. Then same with Zach Hyman's game winner, like both literally sequences started on the PP. And even without those counting, they were at 45% on the power play for the series, which is just ungodly. We already touched on McDavid going nuclear, 11 assists, 12 points, 5 games, but Draisaitl is also second in points with 10, and Zach Hyman is tied for the league lead with 7 goals in the playoffs. Skinner had a great series too. His game 4 was excellent. He stole one for the Oilers, and he's also the only tendy to get a shutout so far in round 1, which is pretty remarkable. I mean, the Oilers look good heading into round 2, where they'll get a little break as they await their opponent. But for the Kings, this makes 3 straight years they've been booted from the playoffs by the Oilers, and they've got to be tired of seeing these guys every year. Unfortunately for them, that's just the way she's going to go when you've got McDavid in the division. A lot of the big dogs for the Kings, like Doughty and Kopitar, are still inked through at least next year, so I suppose you keep running it back. Hopefully they can get more from some players, like PLD in the upcoming season, but we'll see. The guy is just not in my opinion. There's no dog in him. He's built, I don't know, different, but not in a good way. I'm sure the Kings expected more from him, but this is the way of PLD. But what do you think of the Oilers heading into round 2, and what changes do you want to see the Kings make this summer? Did they rush the rebuild? Let us know your thoughts down below.